Hey everybody, this is Matt, and we're going to try something different today. I'm going to try and give you a little bit of a live view for just a little bit of it, and going to try and show you what I'm planning on working on. So for this episode, we're going to try and clean up the eyes just a little bit. I'm not completely happy with how this eye on the left looks. I've went just a hair too deep in how I've gouged out the lower part of it. It doesn't really look very natural. Also, I wanted to try and come up with what our plan is for his beard and his mustache and maybe his hair. So we'll get started on that. So let's first look at his lower eye here. I come back in the previous episode and I went a little bit deep, trying to get this to pop out just a hair, and I succeeded in it, but now it's like the under part of his eye socket really doesn't look very natural. So I'm going to try and push just a little bit of it, this bottom side back. So I'm just cutting on the bottom side of that, of his eye, of his I guess it's really the bags of his eye, the lower part of his eyelid. So you can see I'm kind of cutting at a weird angle. That's because I don't really have a good way of doing it, honestly. I need to push the bottom lid back into that upper lid. It looks a little bit more natural when you do that. It's getting there. Let's see if I can get a little bit better with this. It's really hard. This angle is really hard to get. Just a little bit more there. There we go. So it's very subtle, but it does make it look just a hair better. Okay, so what are we going to do about the hair and his mustache? So I'm thinking maybe we have the hair, or his mustache, maybe something like this. Maybe come out from the center, kind of flare out from the center. We can do that. As far as his soul patch goes, I think maybe we just try and get some wavy lines in. Maybe we don't do anything too crazy since we don't have really great tools here. I mean, they're not terrible, but I've really been happy so far. Alright, let's see. For his hair, I want this strand over here on this side to pop out a little bit further than this one does. So that'll be, whenever we come back to the hair, that's what we're going to work on first. But for now, let's try and see what we can do with our hair. So the way that I do hair is I don't use this. Well, actually I do use a detailed knife, but I come through first with a V-tool. So since we don't have a V-tool this time, we're going to try it the old-fashioned way, I guess. So just come in a little bit of an angle, and then come back at an opposing angle. And then I'll sometimes flip my knife upside down and dig that out, but that's kind of what we're looking for. I'm going to come back on this top side and kind of just gouge it out a little bit more. Trying to make this, I've got kind of a rough angle on that top side. So now let's come back and let's add this one with a little bit of a curvature to it. I heard that. Now what we can do is we can come back and in between them, you see I've got two right here, we can come back and in between them we will maybe not go all the way up, let's just go halfway up. And so what you'll find, let me erase some of my, I'm trying to erase some of my marks so you might can see a little bit better. So what you'll find is you got a little bit of the workings of what looks like a little bit of a mustache there. So let's get another one in here. Now we can see a little bit better. Again, now that I'm off the center line, I'm trying to make it a little bit curvy, have everything curve with the face. So now let's try and have this one start about 3/4 of the way up. Now you want to make sure that your knife is extremely sharp when you're doing this. You don't want to you don't want to push the knife in any certain direction. You just want to cut. You don't want any lateral pressure. And I'm just doing the same cut over and over again. I make a cut and then I come at a little bit of a different angle and try and make a little V cut. And so you can kind of see now, I hope, that we're starting to get the lickings, what looks like a little bit of a beard popping up. Or sorry, mustache. So from here I'm going to fast forward just a little bit and let you guys listen to some music while I continue working on that. Alright, so there's our mustache. It's looking pretty good. Make sure that you alternate at different heights and different depths along the way. Don't make completely continuous lines all the way across, because that looks unnatural. But you do want to have some that are continuous all the way. Sorry about the puppies. So like you can see, and especially on the lower side, I've noticed that if you kind of put a lot of small ones along the lower part, it makes it look like it's a little bit shadowy. So it makes it gives it a little bit more depth. So now let's look at the eyes. I wanted to maybe put our pupils in today in this episode. I usually try not to stick on one thing too long. I like to jump around. So let's see. I'm going to try. You definitely want to use your pencil on this one, because you can really ruin a set of eyes if you don't check them out first. So let's see here. So the best way that I've been able to find how to do eyes, let's pull this eye in just a hair. Best way I've found to do eyes is just take your detail knife, and I'm just going to poke it in and then poke it in. So I'm just going to poke it in. Actually, I'm not really poking, I'm cutting it. Try and make it a little bit of a circle if you can. Now I'm coming at a different angle. That's okay, that's popping up, that's what I'm trying to do. Alright, so right now that doesn't look too great, but that's okay. We can come back and fix it. Let's get the other one. Now you're not going to really be able to see this angle here that well. And there it comes popping out. Alright, so it don't look that great right now, but that's okay. Like I said, we're going to fix it. And the way you fix it is you just keep digging. Keep pushing it further and further back. Try and keep the shape of your eye. Don't try and take any of our curvature off of the eye, but just try and keep digging out. Let's see how that looks. So you can kind of see a little bit of a difference. Once you do your first one, it's going to look like a big old wedge is cut out of it, but once you kind of dig it out a little bit, it starts to look a little bit more like an eye. Alright, so coming back in, I'm going to do this side just like we did that other. I'm just trying to dig it out a little bit more. I'm trying to make as circular of cuts as I can. It's a little bit hard to do with a straight knife, but and if your wood will hold up, the deeper you take it, the better it's going to look. At least I think so.
Oh.
Alright, so let's hop up back over here. Again, I'm making kind of circular cuts. I'm not going too awful deep all at once. You don't want your wood to break. Again, no lateral pressure if you can help it, especially out here on the end where I'm at. I'm out here near the edge of the bark. That's a dangerous area to be. It's where you're most likely to break something. I'm really worried with this one.
Wait, please.
Trying to show you guys while I cut. Alright, now it's starting to look like I said eyes. Alright, our eye on the left, pupil excuse me, is a little bit bigger. So let's, and also I want to, your pupils don't, or sorry, not your pupils, but your irises. In many ways, they look almost, they cover up a lot of your eye, so you're not going to see the entire circle of your pupil in your eye. So let me take just a hair off this one. Alright, that's starting to look pretty good. He's got him some eyes now, he's got him a mustache. And I'd say probably for this episode, that's enough for now. Hopefully I've shown you guys a little bit of new stuff. In our next episode, we'll try and finish out his, sorry, I'm still cleaning up here. We'll try and finish out his soul patch, and maybe his hair and his eyebrows, and he'll just about be done. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's a little bit of a different video than what I usually do, but hopefully you guys learned something. Thanks guys. We'll see you next time. Make sure to like and subscribe.